Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The spiritual practice has two aspects. One is the aspect of rejection, and second is the aspect of assimilation. First, we start rejecting all the conditionings through which we are functioning. As a result of these, all possible rejections, we come to a point where no more rejection is possible. That point is our absolute self. Oh heyam, you can't reject yourself. And after you have reached there, then from there you again look back towards all that what you have rejected. Then there will be two perceptions. Either you will look at all that you have rejected never existed, or second, all that you have rejected is nothing but you alone. This is the whole picture. So first we start by the process of rejecting, because karya karana kartrutve prakritihi hetu uchyate. All the karma phala, the enjoyer, experiencer, everything falls in the purview of the kshetra, the prakriti. महाभूतान्यहंकारो बुद्धिरव्यक्तमेव च इंद्रियाणि दशैकं च पंचचेन्द्रिय गोचरा इच्छा द्वेष सुखम दुःखम संगातश्चेतना धृति. This includes the total cause, effect and the modifications in the effect. So when we discard all this with the understanding that they cannot influence me, this is the process of rejection, vyatireka. And after this has been fully established, then we can work out. Then who was becoming miserable? Question remains, who was becoming miserable? Now why bother and live thereafter eternally, cheerfully, happily? So, these three gunas and every aspect about the three guna. Guna swarupam, guna vrittam, then svavruttena cha gunana bandhakatvam, guna vritta nibaddhasya cha purushasya ya gatihi. All these things, etat sarvam mithya jnanam ajnana moolam bandha karanam. And when this is done, when we come to know that this is all an imagination, immediately it is dropped. There is nothing to be serious about. And he who has thus learned the art of renouncing all that which can be renounced, he alone has learned the spiritual life. And this is what is said in the 19th verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Nanyam Gunebhya Kartaram Yada Drashtanupashyati गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति। न अन्यम कार्य कारण विषय आकार परिणितेभ्यः गुणेभ्यः, none other than these gunas. And guna prakriti sambhavaha, therefore this prakriti. So none other than these gunas. What are these guna? Karya, karana, vishaya, akara, parinitebhyaha, gunebhyaha. Now we have seen how these three gunas get modified into various things. First of all, Mahat Tattva, then Asmita, then Ekadashindriyani, then 5 subtle elements, and then 5 gross elements called as the objects of knowledge. So all of them are mentioned here. Karya, the body, Karana, the Antakarana and Bahishkarans, then Vishaya, the worldly objects, Indriyartha, Akara, Parinitebhyaha, Gunebhyaha. So all these gunas have modified in these three. So this thought also came in the 3rd chapter, if you remember. Tattvavittu mahabaho gunakarma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate. Gunakarma yoho tattvavit, the one who knows the 14th chapter, before he has studied the 3rd chapter. So, guna and karma. So what was said, tattvavittu mahabaho guna karma vibhagayoho, that particular thing is explained in this 14th chapter. And then what is his understanding? Guna guneshu vartante iti matvana sajjate. He knows all this thing is happening in the gunas. The perceiving instruments are sattva guna, the effect of the sattva guna. Then the perceived objects are the effects of the tamo guna. And the activity of these faculties is the effect of the rajoguna. So what is happening? Guna guneshu vartante iti matva, having thus recognized this, na sajjate. He is neither attached to the worldly objects, nor to the sense organs, nor to the experiences gained through the sense organs. Here also the same thing Bhagavan tells in different words. What he says? Na anyam karya karana vishayakara parinitebhyaha gunnebhyaha kartaram anyam yada drashta vidvansa na anupashyati. So when this vidvan, this wise man, gunakarma yoho, vibhaga yoho, vidvan, he who knows this, then what he knows? Other than the gunas, there is nobody as a doer. See? Gunebhyaha anya kartaram na pashyati. So, yada drashta anupashyati. So, gunebhyaha anupashyati. Anupashyati means after having known this. Anu means paschat. So after having known that all the things are happening in the three gunas, therefore guna eva sarvavasthaha sarva karmanam kartaraha iti evam pashyati. So what he understands? He understands gunaha eva, it is only the gunas alone, sarva avasthaha, under all conditions. Which are all conditions? Jagra, swapna, sushupti and samadhi. This is all in the three gunas. Sarva avasthaha, and then sarva karmanam, all the karma. The sukrutasya karmana syahu, rajasasya karmana syahu, and tamasaha. So all the kinds of activity, good, dynamic or bad, creative, destructive or lazying around, So, guna eva sarvavastha sarvakarmanam kartaraha. They are the one who is doing everything. Iti evam pashyati. In this manner, he who pashyati means what? Pashyati means recognizes. Then what happens? Gunebhyaha cha param vetti. And then he comes to recognize there is something which is gunebhyaha param, which is beyond the scope of the three gunas and their operation. And that is the absolute substratum of this Prakriti, which is supported by this Parabrahma Paramatma. So, Gunebhyaha Param Guna Vyapara Sakshi Bhutam. Now, who is this beyond the three gunas? Guna Vyapara Sakshi Bhutam. He who is the witness of all the modifications of all the gunas. See? So, Gunebhyaha Param Guna Vyapara Sakshi Bhut. That means gunas are there, their modifications are there, their activities are there, but this wise man, Vidwan son, Sakshi Bhutaha, he remains only as a witnessing consciousness to all the modifications of the three gunas. Now be very attentive. Anya devatad viditat aviditat adhi. Viditat Jagrat Swapna. Aviditat Sushupti Samadhi. They are equal. So, Anya Devatad Viditat Aviditat Adhi. Gunebhyascha Param Vetti. See, same words. Because all these four avasthas, four areas of experience, waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi, they belong to the upadhi. See? In case of the gross body, vyadhi. In case of the subtle body, it is the adhi. In case of the causal body, it is the samadhi. These are the three diseases. Therefore, Gunebhyascha Param Vetti, when he thus recognizes this, now one basic principle to be always remembered whenever you study or think about it. And what is that basic principle? In the spiritual field, knowing is being and being is knowing. They are not two things. So here it is said, Param Vetti. Vetti, knowing. Mad bhavam gacchati and adhigacchati. Bhava is being. See? So, gunebhyascha param vetti, sa mad bhavam gacchati. Because the consciousness and existence are not two. Gunebhyascha param vetti, mad bhavam saha adhigacchati. He attains oneness with me. So, madbhavam, mama bhavam sa drashta adhigacchati. He is able to recover his own self from the relativity to the absolute. Madbhavam saha adhigacchati. This is how all this discussion in the 14th chapter regarding the three gunas are meant for discarding the three gunas. That's the only purpose. That's why in the beginning only I told you, when something is rejected through knowledge, then that rejection is real rejection. And something is rejected through ignorance, it is an illusion of rejection. It is something like, when you reject the world and become a Babaji. Why? Because disgusted, a total failure everywhere. So let us become Babaji. Now such a person who has failed in the life and therefore he has become a Babaji, he will fail being a Babaji also and he will get married. See? Because he has developed that faculty. Constant failure wherever he goes. On the contrary, if he has renounced the world with understanding, not through failure, therefore dispassion as a result of discrimination is lasting, and the dispassion as a result of frustration is not lasting. It is lasting. Therefore, first of all, this drashta, the seeker, has to recognize that everything is happening in Prakriti. Just you hold on to this one thought, everything is happening in Prakriti. Immediately you don't have to struggle to stop the thoughts, because thoughts are in the Prakriti. So gunebhyascha param vetti. Now what will be the result of this? Result will be any kind of modifications that appear in the world around, any kind of changes which are natural in the world inside, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, etc., all of them will not be able to influence us. That is important. So when we have a desire, and if the desire does not influence us, then it is aborted. See? If the anger has come and the anger doesn't influence it, it is aborted. This is how saha madbhavam adhigacchati. Now one more shade of this verse. When Bhagavan says, he who knows this reality which is beyond the three gunas, he attains oneness with me, means what? Like Paramatma is supporting all the three gunas and the Prakriti and playing the game of the Jiva, the Ishvara, the Samsara, and yet he is not influenced anywhere. So Madbhavam adhigacchati does not mean that now he becomes isolated and with a swollen face. What happened? Realization. No. He plays the game of life without getting influenced by any one of them. Saha madbhavam adhigacchati. Now katham adhigacchati iti uchyate. Now how he attains oneness with me, this is said in the 20th verse. Gunane tanatityattrin dehi deha samudbhavan janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi vimukto mrutamashnute. Gunan etan yathoktan atitya jivan eva atikramya mayopadi bhutan dehi, this embodied one, the seeker now, dehi means etan deha samudbhavan gunan. These three gunas, who are the cause of this birth of this body and everything, because the karya karana vishayakara parinitebhya gunebhya, we have said in the last verse. So etan trin gunan, these three gunas which are expressing as the world of objects, the instrument of the experience and the experiencer, everything. So etan trin gunan yathoktan atitya. Atitya means transcending, going beyond. See? Going beyond means what? It is something like this, we should give such examples which are real, is it not? Going beyond means what? How many times we have heard that we are Satchidananda, but these words have gone beyond. They don't touch us in the same manner. This is the best example I can think of. How many times we are being again and again bombarded by the scriptures that guna guneshu vartante, gunebhyascha param vetti, don't get carried away by the vehicle of thoughts. And suddenly we buy a vehicle. Where did I park my car? I hope they have not towed it away. So one word you hear and you are transcended. Transported, not transcended. You are transported with that thought. So atitya, going beyond, jivan eva atikramya. So atitya means going beyond, jivan eva atikramya. This is not a posthumous thing. While living in this very body, in this very place. See? So, gunan etan atityatrin dehi deha samudbhavan. So, dehi deha samudbhavan dehotpatti bija bhutan. So, these three gunas are the cause of this body, etc. When the dehi, the seeker, is able to transcend their influence on him. Now, what is the meaning of going beyond? Take an example. There is a person who is a strictly non-vegetarian. There is another person who is a strictly vegetarian. And there is a person who doesn't care for both of them. Now what will be the result? When there is a non-vegetarian dish available, you must have seen, in these various parties, buffet, there are two, categories. Vegetarian, non-vegetarian. And you will see the people go and attack those non-vegetarian dishes as if, the lion is going and bouncing on the animal. Big queue. They are non-vegetarian. Those who are vegetarian, they will go over there only. And the non-vegetarian will always say, after having come to a party, what is there to eat the grass? Come on, take this. This is something good. And what the vegetarian people will say, you animals, wild, I don't know how you eat the dead animals. This is not going beyond. This is reacting. So going beyond is not disliking. See, going beyond is going beyond liking and disliking. So the presence and the absence of the non-vegetarian, when doesn't disturb you? If somebody is eating, that is his choice. Why should we get disturbed? Like I remember once I went to somebody's house, Bengali house, and Bengalis eat non-vegetarian. So that mother has prepared nicely separately, and in their house always non-vegetarians are cooked and kept. So her son, arrogant, he came and with his chicken and all that, and sat next to me. And the mother was feeling so bad, started scolding that boy. I said, Ma, don't scold him. By scolding, the problems are not solved. And when I am not disturbed, why should you get disturbed? No, but Swamiji, this is not, when he knows that you are a vegetarian, why should he come? And I said, look here, I am a vegetarian, he is a non-vegetarian. I am not compelling him to be a vegetarian, he is not compelling to me to be non-vegetarian. And as long as he doesn't eat me, because when he is eating, like we vegetarians, we take the achar, suppose he looks at me and feels like cutting my finger, cut and eat, then I will object. Till then, let him continue. Otherwise, we start reacting, and reaction is getting entangled in this world. Therefore, atitya means jivan eva atikramya mayopadhi bhutan gunan. So these Gunas, which are the Maya Upadhi. The moment we understand this, then you will see our life will be totally different. This is the technique. How he attains one with me, this is the technique. He stops reacting. And when we stop reacting, then what we do? We start acting. And what is acting? Acting is as if we are listening. Isn't it? But inside there is a tremendous pressure of sleep. And then we are not able to get out of it. Isn't it? We are not reacting, we are acting. Once we start acting in this world, you will see nothing can disturb us. This is what is madbhavam saha adhigacchati. So gunaneta natityatrin dehi dehasamudbhavan. And if he has really practiced this and transcended the three gunas, what are the signs? Janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi vimuktaha. He is not liberated from janma mrityu jara. Please remember. He is born and the death will be there, jara, old age will be there, but there will be no dukkha on account of these things. We don't suffer because of the birth, death or the old age. We suffer because of the fear born out of it. Because he has now recognized, like the body is nothing but the five elements coming together on a chaupati. You know how chaupati, the bhel is prepared? कहीं की ईट कहीं का रोड़ा, भानुमती ने कुंबा जोड़ा. Bhagwan is from Uttar Pradesh. Therefore, all the bhaiyas on Chaupati, they are from Uttar Pradesh. So what they do, they take the old newspaper and in that make a, Trigunatmika cone, and in that they will be putting, the first of all they have put the space, empty thing. And then they will go on putting the remaining four elements. And after everything is done, then Simanam Vidarya Pravishata. And then they enter by way of their biological salt. And then they mix it. Then it is called as a bhel. In the same manner, when the five elements are mixed together and form into a particular body, it is called as a human body or animal body. The moment our attention goes on this absolute reality, then yes, the body has the problem, it has. What can you do? Suffer? No. Therefore, janma mrityu jara dukkhaihi vimuktaha. And once we are clear about this, that we suffer in the life not because of the birth, death, etc., but because of the fear born out of that. And this wise man, vimuktaha amrutam ashnute iha eva, while living itself here and now. So, janma cha mrityu cha jara cha dukkhani cha taihi jivan eva. While living itself, vimuktaha san vidwan amrutam ashnute. So he has already attained immortality. What is the meaning of attaining immortality? Two desires disappear from our life. Shrotriyasya cha akama hatasya. And if these two desires are taken care of, you have conquered the world. Which are the two desires? Desire number one, the desire to live. No, should we die? No, let me complete. Desire number two, the desire to live. When these two desires are deleted from your life, you have no desires. Thereafter, life is lived without a person, a personality struggling to live life. And that is called as Amrutam Ashnute. And this Amrutam Ashnute is Madbhavam Adhigacchati. The understanding what, let us say, Bhagwan Sri Krishna had. What? That earlier I alone was the one who has taken the avatar as Rama. I was the one who has taken the avatar as the Kachapa or the Varaha. And now I have taken the avatar of Krishna. So he has no doubt about his continuous unbroken existence. And the same thing is applicable to us. That we were in this place, that place. Now whatever is our age, according to that age, wherever we were, last so many years. So all these conditionings have changed, but we have no experience whatsoever that we have gone through any change. No, we are the same unchanging reality. The more we are firmly rooted in our own experience as the valid experience, and all other experiences are only changing experiences. That is why, spirituality means becoming more aware, not concentrating. So, saha madbhavam adhigacchati. He alone attains me, amritaha ashnute, amrutam ashnute, and he alone becomes immortal. Immortal means for him there is no problem of relativity. Please remember this, mortality is nothing else other than relativity. Because in relation to something only there is a birth and death possible. In the absolute there is no birth and no death ever possible. Jivan eva gunan aditya amrutam ashnute iti prashna bijam pratilabhya Arjuna vacha. Now Arjuna, when he hears this statement, Jivan eva trin gunan atitya amrutam ashnute, and therefore Arjuna has a question to ask. Oh, that means even before the war begins, I can be immortal? Even before the course is over, I can be realized? You are. I have no doubt about it. And you say no because of modesty. In fact, you are. I have no doubt about it. So, Arjuna uvacha kairlingai strin gunanetan atito bhavati prabho kimacharak katham chaitan trin gunanati vartate. Arjuna asks here two questions. Kaihi lingaihi chinnaihi trinetan vyakhyatan gunan atitaha bhavati. What are the signs? How do we know that someone has transcended the three gunas yatha vyakhyatan? What we have heard in all the chapters up to the 13th chapter, or including the 14th chapter. Kailingaihi chinnaihi etan gunan atitaha bhavati. How do we know that this person has transcended the three gunas? Should we think like this? No. Then, how should we know that we have transcended the three gunas? It becomes subjective. So, कई लिंगैहि चिन्नैहि त्रीनेतान व्याख्यातान गुणान अतीतः अतिक्रांतो भवति. So what are the symptoms that appear in him? Second thing, किमाचारः, कहा अस्य आचारः इति किमाचारः, and how does he live thereafter in this world? Because the one who is buried under the identification of the three gunas, how he lives, we know that. How do you know? From aparokshanubhuti, from our own experience. Because we have no doubt our identification with the tamoguna, that I am the body. We have no doubt about our identification with the rajoguna, that I am the jiva and doing this, doing that, And we have no doubt that we are the sattva guna. Why? We are doing spirituality. We have come on this line. These are the words people use, Swamiji, since when you are on this line? Bombay people, they have got their own typical language. One girl asked me this question, a Bombay girl, here only. स्वामी जी, आप क्लास को दांडी नहीं मारते क्या? Because in Bombay the word dandi is to take a French leave. Don't go, that's it. Being irresponsible. So, एक हार पर दांडी मारो ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? So, what are the symptoms of these three gunas? How do we know somebody has gone beyond? So when we are identified with the body, tamoguna, we know what are the symptoms. When we are identified with the doership, rajoguna, we know the symptoms. When we are identified with the spiritual sadhana that I am doing, the sattva guna. And we all know that in all the three there is a suffering. Sadhana is equally suffering, isn't it? So, kimacharaha. And katham cha kena prakarena etan trin gunan ativartate. And how this person who has come under the influence of the three gunas, the dehi, etan trin gunan katham ativartate. You said he transcends, he who transcends. But how does he transcend? That we want to know. And in reply to this, Bhagavan Sri Krishna begins. So here, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's introduction is very good. Gunatitasya lakshanam gunatitatva upayancha Arjunena prishtaha. So Arjuna has asked these two things. Gunatitasya lakshanam. What are the qualities, description of a man who is beyond the impact of the three gunas? So gunatitasya lakshanam and gunatitatva upayam cha. And how one can attain this, going beyond the three gunas, Arjunena prishtaha ashmin shloke prashnadvayartham prativachanam. So for replying these two questions, prashnadvayartham prativachanam, in reply to these two questions, Bhagavan uvacha, Bhagavan says. Now here, this is a principle. Yat tavat kaihi lingaihi yuktaha gunatito bhavati iti shrunu. The first portion is Kai lingaihi yuktaha gunatito bhavati. What are the signs of a person who has gone beyond the three gunas? That I will tell you first. And thereafter, I will tell you that how does he behave, kimacharaha. And after that we will see how one can transcend the three gunas, what is the technique. So this is the scheme of the thought from 22nd verse up to the last verse of this chapter. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Prakasham cha pravrittim cha मोहमेव च पांडव न द्वेष्टि संप्रवृत्तानि न निवृत्तानि कांक्षति. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Now Bhagavan replies this question. Prakashancha sattva karyam, pravrittim cha rajak karyam, moham evacha tamak karyam, iti etani na dveshti sampravrittani samyak vishaya bhavena udbhutani. Now these three things are playing havoc in our life if we get identified with them. Which are these three things? When the sattva guna is predominant, then prakasham cha. Like the children, small ones, daytime, evening time, anytime they sleep, and nobody can object them. And his mother and father, they are working day and night and tired, and at night they really want to sleep. And that time this child is fresh, because the whole day he was sleeping. So prakasham cha. And then he wants to know something or the other. The other day when I went to USA, one child, very sweet and very fond of, I was so tired, exhausted, and I reached their house, and after taking food I said, hey, I'll sleep. You cannot sleep. I said, you cannot say, I am feeling sleepy. No, you cannot sleep. I was keeping quiet. I went and lay down on the bed, and that maybe hardly 3 years. She doesn't know also how to read. So she brought her books of reading. And she started reading. How she reads? She looks at the picture and makes stories of her own. Doesn't matter what is written here. And she reads in such a manner as if she is really reading. And I was feeling so sleepy. Swamiji, you have to read. I said, no, I am feeling sleepy. I cannot read. You cannot sleep. You have to read. She was so fresh. And I was exhausted and tired. So, prakasham cha. It also happens when, you just don't feel, get sleep. And that time, I don't know why I am not getting sleep. Many people have this problem. One lady came and asked me in Bombay recently, Swamiji, I don't know what I should do. I have lost my sleep. I don't get sleep. I said, hey Amma, don't tell it to anybody. Why? You are getting realized. After realization, sleep goes away. You are awakened. So, prakasham cha. Then, rajak karyam pravrittim cha. Sometime pravritti, Rajoguna becomes so powerful that one just cannot keep quiet. So doing this, doing that, going here, going there. And third, Mohameva cha Pandava tamak karyam. Sometimes dull-wittedness, he just don't feel like doing anything, lying down like a asgar. When these three things happen, meaning what? The conclusion of these three, when these three gunas are playing their game in our life, so what happens? We get influenced by them. And how we get influenced? We get influenced if we want to study, and if that time sleep is coming, then I don't want to sleep, but the sleep will overpower. And when you want to sleep, that time the sleep doesn't come. And then you hate that, I don't want to read, now I want to sleep. I have seen one person, now he's a very big person, an engineer. He has got everything, big office, his own business. And I had to do some computer things. And he has got the latest computer. He took me to his office. I said, hey, this is to be done. Will you be able to take only 2-3 lines? Yes, Swamiji. Trying, again bell. And steno came. Take dictation from Swamiji and write it down. So I did everything. I said, I would have done. This is not a big deal. Swamiji, I'll tell you my story. What is that? I have taken a vow after I completed my college education. I will not do typing and writing anything in my life. Because I was so tired and disgusted during my studies, those 7, 8, 9 years, I have decided after this degree is over, no more reading and no more writing and all that. So, he had developed dvesha for something. So, prakasham cha pravrittim cha moham eva cha pandava. Now what happens? Na dveshti sampravrittani. He doesn't hate them. What you don't hate? When you are no more influenced by anything, then you don't hate. Therefore, samyak vishaya bhavena udbhutani. Because all these 3 gunas are available to us in the form of their effects. The gunas are not directly available. They are available in the form of the effects. Now, how these 3 gunas create hatred in our mind? Bhagavan Shankaracharya writes, Mama tamasaha pratyayo jataha tena aham mudaha. I have become very dull-witted. I don't know these days. I don't feel like doing anything. I don't know. Something is wrong with me. Tamo guna has taken over. Mama tamasaha pratyayo jataha tena aham mudaha tatha rajasi pravrutti mama utpanna dukkhatmika tena aham rajasa pravartita prachalita swarupat kashtam mama vartate yaha ayam mad swarupa avasthanat bhramshaha. Now, because of the rajoguna, I am getting too much involved in this world. And as a result, dukkhatmika pravrutti, and now I am regretting why did I get married at all. So happy all alone. There is a girl, she got married very young, love marriage, and by the time she is 22, 24, she is divorced. Very fast life. Now the question comes whether I should get married or not. So she asked me, Swamiji, I am confused. These people are telling, get married or don't get married, what I should do. I said, you do whatever your inner voice tells. Don't do anything because I tell. Don't do anything because other people tell. You have to live your life, live whichever way you like. So, earlier I got married, and it all became mess. Now I am really afraid. Again, should I take it a chance, or again the same thing happens? So, rajasi mama pravrutti utpanna dukkhatmika aham tena prachalitaha swarupat. Therefore, I am taken away from my essential divine blissful nature. Earlier I was so happy-go-lucky. Now I only go and go. This is neither happy nor lucky, most miserable. So, kashtam mama vartate. My life is full of miseries and tragedies. Now, and yaha ayam mat swarupa avasthanat bhramshaha. And now I have fallen very badly. I don't think there is any chance for me to evolve. Now the Rajoguna has overpowered him, and he has started getting influenced by Rajoguna. Now the third one. Satviko guna prakashatma. How this influences us? Mam vivekitvam apadayan sukhecha sanjayan badnati. Now the Sattva Guna is making me too much discriminative about everything, and I have become more and more obsessed, and I want the things to happen exactly the way I want, and therefore I am becoming a burden to myself. Because of this sattva guna, a sattvic person, not only he cannot tolerate other people's wrongdoings, but he is disgusted if he is not able to come up to his own expectation. Such people torture themselves. I have seen one man, military man, he did the course and he was folding his sleeves, the same sleeve I have seen him while taking food, at least 10 to 20 times. And by the time the food has become cold. But all the attention goes in that. And then he realizes, this is not the hand I am going to eat. This is the hand I am going to eat. And then, and again. See? And so meticulous. And whole time goes only in that. And one day he came and told me, Swamiji, at times I feel I am fed up of myself. I said, why? What happened? He said, because of this. I keep my books on the shelf, go a little away and see from there, and I feel they are not good. So I take out all of them. And again I clean the things. And again I go and I put them. And my whole time goes only shifting the books, never studying the books. See? So, this sattva guna prakashatma mam vivekitva mapadayan, because I have become too meticulous, sukhe cha sanjayan badnati, and therefore I like the things exactly the way I want. And this creates a bondage. Such perfectionists are perfectly miserable. Iti tvani dveshti asamyak darshitvena. Thus he hates these three gunas because asamyak darshitvena, because he has not understood that gunebhyascha param vetti. In this world there cannot be perfection. Because the world is born out of imperfection. Prakriti has to have vikruti. Prakriti means what? Prakarshena kruti. So, therefore when these things, so, tad evam gunatito na dveshti sampravruttani. So is the gunatita purusha. He is the one when these three gunas are thus manifesting in a tremendous way, he does not have this notion, I am Mudha. Please remember, never, even in a dream, never ever say or think, Papovam Papa Karmaham. Don't say that. That is the wrong prayer. Why we are papi? Amritasya putraha. Therefore, papoham, papa karmaham. Like the other day some person wrote me a letter. आपके दासों के चरणों की रज कण आपका सेवक अति विनयाद धूर्त लक्षणम. So I wrote him back that according to what you have written, you are non-existent for me. Because my दासों का चरण रज, I have to find out which are my dasas. See? This kind of self-pity, this kind of self-condemnation, this kind of lack of self-respect is the impact of the tamoguna. Therefore, let us not give any value to them. If sometime a low spirit comes, let it come. Don't glorify that. About this I'll tell you. one day I was not well, and here also and somewhere else also. So when I was not well, some one or two of these ammas came with some laddu and all that, and Swamiji, we heard you are not well, so now how are you? Are you taking medicine, everything? And we have brought some nice thing, laddus and all that. I don't know where are those laddus. Over? Or they're still there? Are Ramdev must have been spoiled now. You should have eaten that. So, don't keep any perishable items. Finish them off clearly. So, after they discuss here and there, I said, hey Amma, I am feeling so good. But why? I said, now since I am lying down on the bed as not well, everybody is visiting me. I wish I lie down like a ill person all the time. How nice it will be. Many a times we glorify our weaknesses to show the modesty and seek attention of the world. This is not the way of a spiritual seeker. Therefore, not dveshti sampravruttani. Suppose sometime the laziness or the too much of inadvertence, etc. happens. So happens, that's it. Let's not carry the load all through our life. Therefore, if you remember, I told you one principle. Never try to justify anything. Don't try to prove anything to anybody in this world. Be sincere to your own conscience. That's it. Then only this tamoguna will not influence. Tamoguni people have got this notion all the time. Maharaj, इस पापी के लिए क्या सेवा है? See, such people are terribly dangerous. Now, tena aham mudaha. Then second one is radhasi pravritti mahu dukkhatmika. Don't justify your miseries. Swamiji, you are lucky. You did not get married. We are so miserable. I said, how do you know? Maybe I am miserable because I did not get married. Swamiji, really this can happen? I said, yes, it has happened to me. I am really miserable because I did not get married. Swamiji, tell me the truth. I said, really I am telling you the truth. Oh, then I don't mind. Then I am not the only one who is miserable. So there is a company. Dukkhatmika pravritti. And so also the sukhatmika. So gunatitaha na dveshti. He doesn't want that this should not happen. Let the things come and go. Now the second thing. यथा च सात्विकादिषु पुरुषः सात्विकादि कार्याणि आत्मानं प्रति प्रकाश्य निवृत्तानि कांक्षति न तथा गुणातीतः निवृत्तानि कांक्षति इत्यर्थः. Like, when these three things happen, the ignorant person wants them never to happen again. Or na nivruttani kankshati, and therefore he doesn't expect that this should not happen in my life, therefore I should get away. No, neither he has a hatred, na dveshti sampravruttani, na kankshati, that they should again and again should happen. I should be all the time in a sattvic mood. Don't have the wrong notion. Never insist for anything in life. This is one of the obstacles on the seat of meditation. What is that obstacle? Like, yesterday I had such a nice meditation. Let me have today also the same way. And then you are lost in yesterday's meditation, and that meditation you can never repeat again. And then struggle, then frustration. Therefore, na kankshati. So all these three gunas, whether they should come or they should go, doesn't matter. So both the things, na nivruttani and na kankshati. He neither hates them when they are coming, and doesn't he expect them to go away when they are not coming or coming. He keeps himself totally undisturbed by their presence or absence. Now you will see what will be the lifestyle of such a person. He will be leading a life of spontaneity, relaxed, cheerful and alert existence. Because he is beyond the three gunas. He has no insistence. He is not obsessed. He doesn't have to prove anything in this world. He doesn't have to gain anything in this world. He doesn't have to protect anything in this world. Because he knows everything that belongs to the Prakriti is mithya pratyay, and the truth alone is to be sought. And that truth alone cannot be other than the me. And this is how prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani nivrittani na kankshati. So he doesn't hate them, nor he wants them to be removed, nor he expects them that they should come again and again. So these are the two views. Not only he doesn't hate them, but he doesn't want them also. What we want all the time to be sattvic, goody. And many people overdo, and they then suffer from the spiritual diarrhea. They suffer from the constipation. And their life becomes so disgusting that nobody wants around them. About this one small incident I will tell you. This happened in Uttar Kashi. I had gone to Badrinath that time, and there was another person. She has taken a group of these people from that camp for the Gangotri, then Gomukh, Kedarnath, Badrinath and like that. And I had gone directly to Badrinath to stay there for 1 week. So this group, when they came, we happened to cross them. In Badrinath, they also stayed for 1 day, and we were also there. So two groups from the same source. And in our group we used to have a lot of fun and jokes and bhajan kirtan and cinema songs and regular classes, meditation. We used to go for hiking here and there and enjoying every day. And the other group, they have taken a vow. Few of them told, I will never chant Lord's name throughout my life. Now what was the reason? I said, why are you allergic to Lord? He said, I think I have come to a wrong group. I said, what happened? He said, I am seeing your people. They are enjoying and we have been suffering for the last 7 days. I said, what happened? He said, the rule in our bus is, our Swamiji has told us. What is the rule? There are benches, two like that, people sitting. Each bench has to chant loudly the japa. And others have to repeat. No other talk, no nothing. And then the first bench to be Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. How long can you chant? And after that line is over, 1 hour. The second one again, Hare Ram, Hare. And you are not allowed to talk anything. And if somebody talks, I will not take food. I will get down from the bus. Wow. And the whole charm of the life was totally destroyed. What is the reason? This funny kind of spirituality. Let there be all the time meditation. Look at Vivekananda. You are looking at his statue, dead one. See? Live life. Therefore, never imagine and get obsessed. Suppose sometime you sit for meditation. Yes, sometime you will not be able to sit even for 5 minutes. Don't curse yourself. Get out and clean the whole room. Yours and your neighbors. And after that again become fresh and start. Means what? Do not fight with the 3 gunas. cooperate and go beyond. This is the only way. And this is understood by this wise man. Therefore, na dveshti sampravruttani na nivruttani kangshati. Now, here Bhagwan Shankara says, etat na parapratyaksham lingam kim tari swatma pratyakshatvat atma vishayam eva etad lakshanam. Now, this particular linga, this particular description about a person who has transcended the three gunas, it is a subjective experience. It cannot be evaluated in others, nor it can be seen in others. Like, when somebody is sitting. See, like, when I sit before my computer doing the things. So I was sitting and I don't talk. So I was asked, Swamiji, you sit here looking at the computer, what you do? I said, look at the computer. Nobody knows. If you simply look at a computer, don't you get bored? I said, why should I get bored? No, there must be. You must don't get bored about the same thing again and again. I said, you are sitting in front of me. When I don't get bored of you, what to talk about a computer? No, please tell me, this is my problem. When I have to sit alone, even in meditation, sometimes I get bored. I said, you get bored because your attention is on the gunas, three gunas. If your attention is on yourself, then whether you are chanting, whether you are singing, whether you are humming, whether you are doing nothing, you will never get bored in your life. And this is a subjective experience. Sometimes you get extremely disturbed inside. Others won't know. That time you handle yourself. Nobody can help you. Therefore, etad na parapratyaksham lingam. This cannot be seen by others because swatma pratyakshatvat atma vishayam eva etad. This is being the personal experience, it is regarding one's own self. And nahi swatma vishayam dvesham akansham va paraha pashyati. And our personal likes and dislikes can never be known by others. Because those likes and dislikes are troubling us only. See, this is how it happens. Suppose you hate somebody. Now that person whom you hate, he doesn't know. Or he doesn't want to know. Other way. And that person whom you hate, he comes to you in the morning. Hi, how are you? Or you start biting your teeth without anything in between. And that fellow doesn't know. Can I help you something? Can I do something for you? And your hatred increases more and more. And nobody knows about it. Because it is extremely subjective experience. Therefore, swatma vishayam dvesham akanksha va paraha na pashyati. Others cannot experience what is going on inside us. Therefore, our spiritual progress is best assessed, evaluated, and monitored only by ourselves. This is what I call that become extremely aware about yourself. The moment you become aware that this particular type of food is not convenient for your existence, then you drop it. The moment you become aware that this kind of thing disturbs you, so you drop that. When you become aware this kind of thing is very conducive and helpful, then you adopt it. This kind of life of awareness is the subjective experience, and this is what is said here in this 22nd shloka. Prakasham cha pravrittim cha mohameva cha pandava na dveshti sampravrittani na nivruttani kangshati. Now in the next verse, atha idanim gunatitaha kimachara iti prashnasya prativachanam aha. Now the second thing is how this Purusha person who has gone beyond the impact of the three gunas, how he has attained this and how he lives in this world. What is his conduct? How does he conduct himself in this world? This is verse 23rd. Udasina vadasino gunairyo na vichalyate guna vartanta itteva yo vatisthati nengate samadukha sukha svasthaha samaloštashma kanchanaha tulya priya priyo dhiraha tulya nindatma samstutihi manapamanayostulyah tulyo mitrari pakshayoho sarvarambha parityagi gunatītassa uchyate. Now these three verses, they give his achara. Kimachara iti prashnasya prativachanam aha. How does he function in this world? Now this topic has come twice before in Bhagavad Gita under different titles. First this has come in the Sthita Prajna Lakshana. There also the same question. Sthita Prajnasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava sthitadhi kim pravasheta kimasita vrajeta kim. In reply to that, Bhagavan has told 18 verses, and when you study this, you see the almost same. Not much difference. Then, again in the 12th chapter, when the teacher spoke of the devotee who has attained the knowledge, para-bhakti, he who has merged in this attributeless absolute reality, how does he live in this world? Adveshta sarvabhutanam maitra karuna evacha. Now this is the third place in same Bhagavad Gita, where we are told how this wise man who has transcended the limitations of these three gunas conduct himself, what is the foundation, on what his conduct is based, etc. Now this topic we'll take in our next probably concluding session. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.